It's 7:25. It's book review day. It's Saturday morning. Welcome to the weekend, my friends. I'm your host, Dean Booty. So today we are talking about a book called The Dealmaker. It's by a chap called Guy Hands. And the reason why I wanted to read this book is because I wanted to know more about venture capitalism. And basically, we've got an opportunity to somebody to invest in the company who was a venture capitalist and wants to take an equity partnership in the company. And he adds value by opening doors that I wouldn't necessarily be able to open myself. And so I wanted to learn and do a bit of research about it and see what the world entails and stuff. And so I thought, what better way to do this than read a book? Anyway, this guy called Guy Hands, do you know what? I've read this book now 3 weeks ago. I didn't take any notes on it because it's a very simple book. It's all about this guy who was once Britain's highest paying taxpayer. And so he earned a lot of money. And so it's all about his life, how he got to where he got to, and the stories and anecdotes along the way, which was very, very enjoyable. Really enjoyed it. But you know what? The overriding emotion when I look back 2 to 3 weeks ago now, when I read this book, was sadness. And I'll tell you for why. And not every life is meant to be lived equally. Not every life is supposed to be lived like how I would live. But he talks about having to live in the Isle of Wight or Isle of Man or some coast, some island anyway. So because of tax purposes, so he couldn't be at home. He couldn't be with his kids. He couldn't be with his wife all the time, a part of his life, because he was worried about paying tax. He was always on the road. He was living a really unhealthy lifestyle, so much to the so where he just looks unhealthy. He looks really, really unhealthy. Collapsed in the room and stuff, and people had to come and run. And it's sadness, because all he wanted to do was that next deal, that bigger, for his investors to look after him, to make sure they was get a good return on investment. And he put himself under so much pressure, and it genuinely makes me cry inside, because I'm thinking there's more to life than that. But then equally, I've got to say, no, but Dean, what happens if that's the life he wants to live? What happens if that's his enjoyment? What happens if that's what makes him happy and feel fulfilled in life? Just because you don't see that fulfillment in his life, it doesn't mean he's not feeling it. I'm like, yeah, that's true. But then, is it true? Or is it just the life that he's lived? Is it the only life he's known? Is it the only life he's ever lived? And therefore, it's the only way of living that he knows. And so therefore, he hasn't experienced any other time. He hasn't experienced the love of his family and cuddling and kissing your kids and being there for soccer practice and all that good stuff. But then equally, I keep arguing myself saying, well, is it good stuff? Do you want to do that? Do people want to do that? Is it just me? Am I different? And then so therefore, he would look at my life and think, your life fills me with sadness, actually. How dare you say my life fills you with sadness? Your life fills me with sadness. You can't buy a private jet. I can. I can go to any private island that I want because I've got the money and all this. I'm like, holy shit, yeah, okay, maybe, yeah. So who am I to say, basically, that I think my conclusion is, who am I to say what is a fruitful life and what isn't? But it just upset me, because I just thought, oh, man, he works that hard, and it's just not, it upset me, because I'm thinking about putting myself in that position and working to the bone and all this, and I just couldn't do it. And so much so, guys, I've got to go because I've got to take the kids to school. I love it. And it was a really, really good book, really successful guy. And it was interesting to see how his thoughts, his processes, what he went through to get to where he's got. So yeah, a really good book. Check it out, guys. See you later. Bye-bye.